Welcome to the Cell Guru Show, and again we've got an incredible lineup of stuff. A 7000 mAh phone, yes? And you know, when I thought and when we heard about it, that Samsung's coming up with the M51, I thought 7000 mAh is going to be a complete brick. I mean, we have 10,000 mAh power banks that are so thick, so big, and they've actually been able to do 70% of that in a form factor that's really small. But lots of other great features on it, and also a very, very nice price. Then we'll move on to the Oppo Enco W51. Now, for under 5,000 rupees, they're giving you a lot. I mean, great ergonomics, very nicely built, a nice case that comes in magnetic, so that you actually get the fit right. You're not going to shake something off, so these don't fall off or anything like that. But the best part is it has noise cancellation, active noise cancellation, under 5,000 rupees. Does it work for everything? We'll answer that. And of course, after that, we've got our incredible Qualcomm segment, which is all about, yes, camera. You know how much we've evolved? I mean, do you know the first camera phone and what magic our phones can do today? But have you ever thought, how does it do it all? And what does the processor really do? And of course, we'll start off with news coming in from the world of mobiles. And I think the most interesting one is, of course, Apple. Now, in about a day or so from now, Apple will actually have an Apple event. They'll announce quite a bit. And we have our speculation in place as to what we think they're going to announce.
Apple has sent out invites for its online-only event on September 15th. Every year, Apple's September event is highly anticipated for the launch of the next iPhone. But it looks like we might have to wait another month this time around. The 15th September event is likely to show off the next Apple Watch series and some new iPads. The invite hints at some exciting AR announcements as well. Google has started rolling out its next big release, Android 11 rollout for select Pixel phones, as well as flagship smartphone models from Xiaomi, Oppo, OnePlus and Realme. The manufacturers are releasing beta ROMs based on Android 11 for their individual UIs. The development was shared by Google in its blog, which adds that more manufacturers will be launching Android 11 for their devices over the coming months. Some of the phones getting the beta include the Mi 10 series, Oppo Find X2 series, OnePlus 8 series and more.
And let's start off now with this, the Samsung M51. M series, one more, and this one is quite a phone. Look, the big deal in it has to be the 7000 mAh battery. There's a lot more and I'll talk about it. So like I said right in the beginning, when the Samsung M51 was rumored, at that time also people spoke about the 7000 mAh battery. Then Samsung themselves revealed it very, very early that this phone has a 7000 mAh battery, and they call it the absolute beast, the monster. And it is at 7000 mAh. But I had thought that it's going to be a very, very big, thick, bulky phone. It's not. It's actually very, very good. A little heavier than any other phone that you would think, but imagine 7000 mAh battery and then a very, very nice screen in the front, quad camera at the back, very nice selfie, very, very small little punch hole camera in the front. Like I said, the screen is also fantastic. Very good processor, Snapdragon 730G. Yes, the Snapdragon phone has come to India through Samsung. I hope they do it for all the other phones. And it has 6 GB of RAM. So let's take a look at our detailed review of the Samsung M51.
There is a new monster in town. Yes, Samsung calls the all-new Galaxy M51 the meanest monster ever, and it brings the specs to match. The premium mid-range smartphone brings an excellent all-round package with one of the biggest batteries that we've seen on any smartphone. But is being good enough to go against the value and power offered by in a review of the Samsung Galaxy M51? Starting off with design, there is a lot to like here. The Galaxy M51 has a large 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus Infinity O display. The full HD Plus panel packs a camera cutout at the top. There is Gorilla Glass 3 for protection. AMOLED display. Watching media on it is an amazing experience. The display shows deep blacks and goes bright enough to be viewable outdoors, even under direct sunlight. The back and frame of the Galaxy M51 is made of plastic, which might not feel as premium as glass, but should hold up great against drops. The phone isn't thin or light as it houses a 7000 mAh battery inside, but we aren't complaining because Samsung has done a pretty good job when it comes to ergonomics. The fingerprint scanner is embedded in the side power button, which works well. Elsewhere, there is face unlock. Powering the phone is a mid-range Snapdragon 730G chipset. Paired with 8GB of RAM, there is more than enough power here for most users. Swiping through menus and jumping between apps is a breeze. Gaming is smooth as well. Elsewhere, the phone offers 4 cameras at the back. This includes a 64-megapixel primary camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide shooter, 5-megapixel macro camera, and another 5-megapixel sensing camera for better portrait shots. The primary 64MP camera takes good-looking images with a very typical Samsung tuning. The colors are slightly oversaturated to make them pop, while the HDR tuning makes everything look vibrant. The dynamic range is pretty decent too. The ultra-wide camera, on the other hand, comes in handy to capture large groups of people. Finally, the macro camera makes it a little hard to get a solid focus, but can capture decently detailed macro shots. There is a night mode which does the job. The M51 comes with a 32MP front camera, and we were impressed with the results. The live focus did a fantastic job. One of the biggest advantages of the Galaxy M51 over the competition is its enormous 7000 mAh battery. The battery life here is absolutely phenomenal, and you can expect 2 or even 3 days of use from the phone depending on what you do on it. When it comes to charging the Galaxy M51, the 25-watt charging comes in very handy. Overall, the Samsung Galaxy M51 takes a very unique approach to stand out in the market. It isn't the most powerful option in the category, but the Galaxy M51 delivers class-leading battery life, performance that is good enough, and the camera's display deliver. The M51 is priced starting 24,999 rupees for the 6GB 128GB variant and 26,999 rupees for the 8GB and 128GB variant. The Cell Guru verdict? The Samsung M51 might be the first time a monster can be your companion. The Galaxy M51 is a great option for users who want a great overall package and not just the fastest phone around.
And now let's move on to the Qualcomm segment, and this is all about your camera. And like I said right in the beginning, the camera is the most used feature. Think about everything you do with your phone and then come down to the usage of your camera. It actually is the core feature of your phone. But have you ever thought how it really works? How does it do all this magic? How is it that we take our phones and actually shoot almost at night or in very, very dim light and get such a perfect picture? How do we shoot something that is actually in action? How do we do so many amazing things with our camera? Well, today we're going to tell you everything that happens within your phone. You remember the time you wanted to capture a beautiful, picturesque sunset, and by the time you were ready with your big, heavy camera, its lenses, set up the ISO, shutter speed, the exposure, the sun had set and disappeared into the horizon. Or when you decided to hit that beach on your vacation with that bulky, big camera to take some great photos, but were wondering how to protect it from both the sea and the sand. You didn't even take the camera out of the bag. Or when that perfect moment happened, and you had no camera with you because all that big equipment worth thousands of dollars was sitting at home. This, or at least one of this, has happened to all of us, not once but multiple times, until smartphones with their smart cameras changed everything. While the whole dedicated camera experience in technology has improved over the years, it's no match to how far the smartphone camera technology has actually come. The camera inside your smartphone does absolutely incredible things, things we would have only been able to dream of some 5 to 10 years back. To put this evolution of phone camera technology in perspective, let's take a stroll down history lane. The first camera phones were released in the year 2000 with a resolution ranging from 0.1 to 0.3 megapixels. We have progressed from 5 to 10 megapixels to 48, 64 and even 108 megapixel sensors on our phone. But in this war of numbers and specs, we sometimes fail to appreciate all the other amazing things that phone optics have been able to achieve. From single camera setup to dual to triple and now quad camera, the progression of smartphone cameras have helped you capture stunning photos and videos. But is the camera prowess of a phone only dependent on the lens, number of cameras and megapixel? Then how is it that flagship phones offer the best camera experience with lesser megapixels than their much cheaper counterparts? What is the role of the depth sensor, ultra-wide sensors, hybrid zooms, telephoto sensors and many other things that you get on a high-end phone camera? Well, if you appreciate your phone camera, it's important to understand everything that the processor does to power your favorite features. Yes, all that detail, that depth sensing, colors that pop, night mode, AI detection, all these super features are all happening and are related to the processor inside your phone, which is roughly the size of your fingernail, right? Today we'll talk about how Qualcomm Snapdragon enhances the capabilities of your smartphone's photography. We will understand the role of the image signal processor or ISP and how it empowers your smartphone to keep your pictures sharp and in focus. With high scores across key benchmarks, Snapdragon processors translate to incredible user experiences. We'll also be joined by tech experts to share their experiences about how the processor has defined the new age camera technology, how it's elevated the camera experience, and how it's made sure that cameras on your phone are the only cameras you will ever need. Let's go and talk to Judd now, Senior Director, Product Management for Qualcomm Technologies Incorporated. Hi Judd, how are you? And I want to start off with my first question. What is an ISP?
Thanks, Rajiv. An ISP, or image signal processor, is a hardware core inside of the Snapdragon chip. It connects to external image sensors, and internally it runs algorithms like auto exposure, auto white balance, and autofocus. It also runs pixel processing algorithms like noise reduction and color correction. And finally, the ISP outputs snapshots or videos which the user can enjoy.
Okay, so what makes Spectra ISP different from an ISP in a traditional, like a DSLR camera?
What makes the Spectra ISP different than an ISP that you might find in digital still camera or a DSLR is the fact that it has to run inside of a smartphone. On a smartphone, the cameras are much smaller. The image sensors are smaller, which means they collect less light. Also, the lenses are smaller and cheaper. And therefore, the ISP has to work a lot harder to do the processing it takes to get really good, high-quality output snapshots and videos.
So Judd, is processing speed an important metric to achieve great image quality and experience? If so, how fast is Spectra?
The speed of the ISP is really important for a good user experience on a camera smartphone. Spectra is fast, really fast. It processes up to 2 gigapixels per second. What that means is that it can process 64 megapixels at a 30 frame per second rate. So if you're shooting video, say at 8K 30 or 4K 120, or trying to do really fast burst photography, the Spectra ISP in our premium tier, the latest ISP being Spectra 480, has you covered.
Yeah, you know, this is a question we get all the time. We all keep buying our phones based on this has triple camera, this has quad camera. But how do triple and quad cameras actually work? I mean, I know we're using them and we can switch from one to the other. How important are they in improving the overall user experience and the product we finally get?
Yeah, a lot of smartphones today have multiple cameras on the back side. Sometimes 3, even 4 cameras. And the reason for this is because multiple cameras on a smartphone are used to mimic a zoom lens on a digital SLR. So the multiple cameras on the back of a smartphone can be ultra-wide, wide, telephoto, and sometimes even ultra-telephoto or macro. So what this allows you to do, in a flat, very thin form factor in a smartphone, you can now have all these different fields of view and zoom between them seamlessly to mimic what you would get with a single sensor digital SLR camera and a zoom lens.
What are the different types of camera sensors? What do they mean and how do they help the photographer?
Yeah, there's really 2 main different types of image sensors. The first is what is called a bare sensor. But there's also another class of sensors that are monochromatic sensors. And these sensors output black and white images, or they're infrared sensors. So they pick up on infrared activity in the light spectrum. And they can actually sort of see in the dark. And so those cameras are used for things like unlocking your phone, because you want to be able to unlock your phone not just in the daytime when there's light outside, but also at night. And these cameras can be mixed in a camera system on a smartphone to do lots of different things. like compute depth, for example.
Thank you, Judd. Thank you so much for taking us through how all those lenses, the sensors, the camera inside our phone actually works. Fascinating. Now let's move on to somebody we've actually had on the show many times, Asim Varsi, Senior Vice President, Smartphone Business, Samsung India. Thank you so much for joining us, Asim. Let's talk about the first thing, and that is something we've been hearing a lot about, the upcoming new launch in the Galaxy M lineup, the Galaxy M51.
Hi Rajiv, thank you for having me on your show. I must say I'm super excited to introduce the all-new Samsung Galaxy M51. It's the most powerful of all our M series devices up until now. Keeping with our legacy of consumer-centric innovations for the Indian millennial consumers and the Gen Z consumers, we have packed in a 7,000 mAh battery on the M51. Under the hood of the M51, we have packed in a monstrous Snapdragon 730G processor. So coupled with a 618 Adreno GPU, as well as Samsung's AI, gamers, multitaskers, heavy users, this is going to be their go-to device.
So Asim, tell us, what is the Samsung single take feature and what role does the processor play in implementing this?
What the consumer has to do is just click the camera button, and over 10 seconds, the camera will record and give out an output of 10 different types, 7 different photographs, and 3 different video formats. To be able to compute and apply all these different filters and apply all the different video forms, including hyperlapse, including boomerang, in these 10 total outputs, puts all the demand on the chipset of the device. And therein lies Snapdragon 730G SoC in the M51. The power of this chipset is exactly what enables the superlative single-take experience that consumers can come to expect and experience from the camera of the Galaxy M51. And mind you, this camera is a quad-cam stack-up with a 64 megapixel at the rear as well as a 32 megapixel at the front of the camera.
I have personally tried out the single take feature on Samsung flagships like the S20, and I've been very impressed with that actual feature and what all it can do. But Asim, to view the great content clicked by the cameras, the display should also match up to it. What has the M51 got to offer on the display front?
Absolutely, Rajiv. The brilliance of a camera and the content you capture on it is only as good as the brilliance of the display of your device. And this is where Samsung Galaxy M51's 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus Infinity O display really brings the edge into the camera and the content viewing experience.
Thank you, Asim, for joining us. As always, it was wonderful to have you on the show. Let's take a quick break right now. When we come back, lots more on the Cell Guru Show. Now let's move on to our Oppo Enco W51 TWS earbuds from Oppo. And I've been saying it again and again and again. This is a category on fire. And there's a reason for it, because everyone seems to be buying into this category. I think in terms of headphones, everybody wants these wireless TWS earbuds. But when Oppo came up with the Enco W51, they obviously thought it out. They had to have a differentiator, and that, besides all the other things that they've been able to do very well, including great audio in a very good form factor and a magnetic case, is the fact that they've actually given you active noise cancellation. Now, active noise cancellation works in two ways. One, when you're only listening to something which is off call, which is music, which is otherwise, and one, when you're actually on a call. Does it work both ways? That is the big question.
From affordable true wireless earphones to fitness-focused ones, buyers today are spoiled for choice. Now, Oppo is kicking things up a notch with the active noise cancellation-enabled Oppo Enco W51. Yes, you heard that right. Let's see if the Oppo Enco W51 can cut through the noise and deliver on the promised features. At first glance, it's easy to see the design inspiration. The Oppo Enco W51 has taken a leaf out of the Apple AirPods Pro design book. These in-ear style earphones paired with a long side stock on the side could easily pass off as the AirPod Pros from a distance. We found them comfortable to wear for hours on end, and the included buds offer a very good seal. The stock on the side includes the microphones and lets you tap to control music playback via gestures. It works very well. When it comes to sound quality, Oppo delivers again. The earphones pack 7mm drivers and use Bluetooth 5.0 for rock-solid connectivity. The earphones deliver a bass-rich, warm sound that's pleasing to listen to. But what's unique to the Oppo Enco W51 is the active noise cancellation, which is unheard of at this price. The earphones use a total of 6 microphones to analyze ambient noise and try to eliminate it completely. While it couldn't cut out noise completely in our testing, the performance here is very good for the price. So the next time you are traveling on a plane or a train, the W51 can be your partner in reducing surrounding noise and helping you focus on your music. Thanks to the IP54 rating, you can even take these out for a run without worrying about sweat or dust. The earphones last 3.5 hours on a single charge, which is not too bad keeping in mind the noise cancellation. Combined with the case, you can get 20 hours of total listening. Overall, priced at 4,999 rupees, the Oppo Enco W51 goes big on the feature set. What's even better is that the sound quality and noise cancellation is on the promise. Definitely one to consider if you are buying a new pair of true wireless earphones.
That then is the Cell Guru Show for this week. As always, lots coming up next week, including, of course, all the Apple stuff that they'll be announcing. Do watch out for that show. I'll see you on it.